What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Gooner, a channel 100% dedicated to Arsenal Football Club, who are, as we all know, by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. What can you say? It is not often in life you get exactly what you hoped for. Last night's game against Everton was that. If you watched the preview video, yesterday I talked about manifesting, and yesterday I asked the universe for a 4-0 with 2 goals in the first half, and I'm sure we were all a little bit worried in the first 30 minutes. It looked like I might be disappointed, but Bukayo Saka, one of the world's greatest young players, ridiculously young for his prodigious ability, popped up with a sensational goal past England's #1 goalkeeper. And then VAR overruled a linesman to give us 2-0 before half-time. In the second half was a very much plainer sailing experience for us. It's just a joy at the moment. It is absolutely wonderful to be an Arsenal supporter. I'm sure we all agree. Going to have a quick look at how they lined up yesterday. I think whilst it may seem harsh to drop Eddie, this is football at the top level. I said yesterday I didn't think that his kind of play was necessarily suited to breaking down an Everton team, who I give huge credit to. They came out and played in a way that I really wasn't expecting. I don't think any of us were in the first 30 minutes. That goal against them really was a sucker punch towards the end of the first half, and the second goal took all the wind out of their sails. I mean, this is a team who scored 2 goals in 8 games, and they were never going to overturn a 2-0 lead of ours at any point yesterday. Trossard and Martinelli linking up is more similar to Jesus. It is a little harsh on Eddie. I will take that he's given so much for the club and his goals have been so important. But when you look around now, Martinelli yesterday becoming the first Brazilian since Jesus and Richarlison to score more than 10 goals before the age of 22 in the Premier League. So when you look at the goal from Odegaard, when you look around the team and you see the goals coming from everywhere, juxtapose that with Manchester City, where all their goals are pretty much coming through Haaland. So looking at the lineup, what a joyous time to be an Arsenal fan. Pretty much picked the team I wanted him to pick, and they did everything I wanted them to do. Ben White and Zinchenko. Zinchenko, I thought, was outstanding yesterday. A real picked the pass perfectly for Saka that set him up for the 2 touches, and bam. He was all over the midfield yesterday, and finding those kind of clever passes forward that unlocked people. Just an outstanding performance from him. As expected, Saliba and Gabriel not with a lot to do really, and Ben White. At one point, I actually wrote on the live screen, on the live chat, that I thought Ramsdale could go for a beer and we probably wouldn't miss him. He came, I think it was in the dying minutes of the game, he made a fantastic save, showing what a great keeper he is, to have concentration not needed all game. It wouldn't have made a difference, but the clean sheets are obviously hugely important to us at the moment. And the little spat that Saliba and Gabriel had even after we got a clean sheet against Leicester, I think demonstrates that there is a lot of passion and pride in this team. In the midfield, Jorginho started, which is kind of what I wanted to see, because if Partey isn't 100% fit, then why risk him? He did go off at half-time, and Arteta said afterwards in his press conference he hadn't been feeling well, but he stepped up to play. Arteta let him. I don't know. I think Arteta's quite intelligent with what he tells us and what he doesn't tell us. Personally, I think it's fantastic if it's true that despite feeling really sick, he wanted to play. He has that kind of spirit and determination. Not questioning Thomas Partey. He does tend to go out for the big games. Now I think there's maybe too early, maybe too silly to say there's competition for that place, but certainly Jorginho stepping up at every turn is going to make it, interesting. Partey, I would expect, will start the next match though. But Jorginho had a really good first half. I think a lot of us were surprised until Arteta explained what happened to see Partey come on. Certainly at 2-0, it didn't look like the kind of game where you would want to risk him. As I already said, Zinchenko was in and around that midfield hugely. Xhaka looked a little bit better, but he came off and he's had some rest now. This is a player whose work rate for the team is unquestionable. I think his engine is one of the best in football. He does not give up, but like any other athlete, he's going to need some rest. I thought it was a good performance from him yesterday. Odegaard, well, apart from scoring a goal, he was Odegaard. He was exactly what you wanted in that game. He was creative, balanced to Trossard moving around on the left, on the right, and linking with Saka. Just an all-round wonderful performance from Odegaard yesterday. I cannot say enough good things about Saka. I'm on tenterhooks that he signs his contract. As I said yesterday's video, he reminds me of Rocky Rocastle. We've had so many legendary number 7s, Liam Brady. When you look at Saka and the age that he is, his composure, his fight, his determination, his character, the importance he plays within this team. And yesterday, stepped up, took the goal, settled the nerves, was instrumental in Martinelli's goal, which was almost offside. And for a change, VAR corrected a linesman's decision and gave us the goal. And I thought we were comfortable. I thought we'd win at 1-0, but at 2-0, it was game over at half-time. And it meant we could come out and play the kind of football, scintillating football, that we were all hoping to see yesterday in the first home game since the City match. Martinelli, 2 goals. Outstanding. I want to say this because obviously Eddie Nketiah being dropped is harsh. He's given so much. He scored important goals. We are now scoring all over the pitch. But what was fantastic for me was that Eddie Nketiah set up one of Martinelli's goals. He got the ball inside the box, nice spin and a great pass back. I think it's easy to say when he's not scoring that he doesn't contribute anything else. Yesterday he showed that he can. And he's going to be really important. He's an impact substitute, to say the least. If a game, if you've got forwards tiring a little bit, then Eddie comes on. The Trossard question, a few games ago, should he start? I think, until Jesus is back, which is imminent, apparently, although no one will quite say whether it's going to be before the international break, which I've heard strong rumours that it will be. Certainly, if it's not before the international break and Brazil call him up, I don't think he should go. And I don't know if you can do that. Shades of Alex Ferguson, but let's worry about that another time. And when Jesus is back, obviously he's a starter every single time, and I really don't, I don't see past that. It will be Martinelli or Trossard perhaps on the left, but it will certainly be Jesus playing that Trossard position, that false number 9. I don't really like to call it false number 9, but that is kind of what Trossard was asked to play yesterday. And the interchange with Martinelli, where we're more and more often seeing Martinelli play up front in that central role, which is interesting because it's a role that Martinelli himself is not keen to play. He likes coming in off the left. And, I think we try and accommodate players to their best positions wherever possible. An all-round fantastic performance, composed the second half. Ole's possession never looked in trouble. As I said, Ramsdale without a stop really until I think it was the 91st minute. And the other really nice things, apart from the fact that we did see Thomas Partey play a full half, Kieran Tierney got some minutes. Emil Smith-Rowe got some minutes. I was really calling for Emil Smith-Rowe to come on because, with Saka and Martinelli scoring, wouldn't it have been wonderful if we could have sung Saka, Martinelli, Smith-Rowe? It wasn't to be. He did have a really good chance. Just didn't work out for him on the day. And Kieran Tierney came on. And I think one of the big mysteries at the moment for me is why isn't Kieran Tierney getting any minutes at all? As I said yesterday's preview, I didn't expect him to start, but I am thrilled that we got to a position with a comfortable cushion where we could bring on Kieran Tierney. I would hate to see him depart for Newcastle or for anywhere for that matter in summer, but I do appreciate a player of his ability and age needs minutes. We have games coming up where he will almost certainly play, and I'm sure that's true for a lot of them. Emil Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, Vieira. Look, at the moment, for me, predicting it was going to be 4-0 predicting we were going to score 2 goals in the first half. I knew in my heart this was absolutely bolted on, and now we have Bournemouth at home. You can't really ask for more than this. 2 teams in the bottom 3, back-to-back. Man City play ahead of us for a change on Saturday. So if there's any way that they could come out of that with just a draw, we might be looking at 7 or even 8-point lead. For all of those pundits who still are not sure, and there are increasingly few people who think we're not serious title contenders. I know that there are superstitious fans out there, and I know most of us have some superstitions. I'm not doing that anymore. All my Arsenal life, which is more than 40 years now, I have, I've not wanted to tempt fate. I've been kind of, don't say it. I'm going to live a different kind of way now, all right? I think we are going to be champions because that's what I genuinely think. I believe that we have a more cohesive team unit. I think we play better football. I think we have more hunger, more desire. And I do understand, what Gary Neville's saying when he's saying that we don't have the experience. But there was a really good point made yesterday, which was that whilst we don't have the experience of winning the title, and it is hard to win your first title, obviously people do, it's also really hard to win 3 in a row. Man United did it twice, as Gary Neville was quick to point out. But Man City are going up against that. And one of the reasons it's hard to do is because of hunger and the drive and the tiredness. And, they've lost some key members of their squad. I fully believe this is the year we are Premiership champions. And I cannot wait to celebrate. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to click like. It is the least you could do if you're feeling as good about football as I am at the moment. And I'll be back tomorrow with more news, updates on injuries. And it's only a couple of days till we play Bournemouth. So I'll be looking at the possible lineups and giving you another one of my Nostradamus style, or as I call it, Nostradamus style predictions, which, you can take to the bank at the moment. Anyway, thanks for watching and lots of love.